Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. I am so excited for today because we get to play with the entire Colourpop Fem Rosa collection. Now I'm probably the only person in the world that can do this, but I thought I had just ordered the eyeshadow palette, and when I checked my credit card statement I realized that I'm pretty sure the palette didn't cost $40, so I must have bought the whole set and I just can't read. I don't know. So anyway, we have the entire Fem Rosa set to try out today. I feel like this collection is actually fairly substantial because I've done the makeup that this didn't come with. So basically just my base makeup and my eyebrows. This came with a 12-pan eyeshadow palette, a face palette with a highlighter, blush, and a bronzer, and also came with 4 different lip shades. I think there's 2 ultra glossy and 2 ultra glossy, 1 ultra satin. I just can't read. 2 ultra glossy and 2 ultra satin lips. I, first of all, am not the biggest fan of the ultra satin or the ultra matte lip. I just think they feel so drying, but I haven't tried them in a while, and a lot of people have said that they changed their formula a little bit, so hopefully these are a little better. If you guys have watched any of my videos in the past, you know that I love Colourpop. I love their Super Shock shadows, their Super Shock cheeks, their ultra glossy lips. I have actually never tried any of their pressed products though, and both the eyeshadow palette and the face palette are pressed. So I guess let's just jump right into it and get to trying these out. Alright, I guess let's just start with the eyes first. Honestly, I thought this was going to be a little bit bigger. When I heard 12 pan, I just thought, dang, that's big. But it's kind of small. It's like about the size of my hand. And this is the She palette. That's the name of the palette. But these colors are gorgeous. Let's see if I can get this a little bit closer for you guys to see. But these are just absolutely beautiful colors. I did notice though that there's only 4 matte shades, so these bottom 4 here are matte, and then everything else is like metallic or has a shimmer. So I'm kind of limited here as to what I can do like with transition colors and stuff. So alright, I guess let's just go in. Also, I just realized it doesn't have a mirror. Okay, so the shade names for these are on the back. So I'm going to go in, I think, with this one here on the bottom first. This is called Deer. And I'm just going to put this in my crease and probably a little bit on the lid. Oh, the color is really pretty though. I don't know about a transition color, but it's really pretty. Okay, next I think I'm going to go with this first shade on the bottom here. This is called Duchess, and I'm going to focus this mostly like very in the deepest parts of the crease here, and see if we can just deepen this color up just a tiny bit. So far these are really pigmented and they're really easy to blend. I just kind of feel like it could have done with a lighter matte shade than these pinks and kind of coral colors, but I set my eyes before I started doing this, so at least that was done, but if I hadn't, I wouldn't really have had a color to set it with. So that did kind of leave me wanting a little bit more. Well, good thing these are blendable, because I would have ended up with like a sunset eye. So I went a little heavy-handed on this side. Oops. Okay, now I think I'm only going to use one more matte shade. We'll see. But I'm going to use the second shade here in the bottom. This is called Damsel. And I'm just going to start out with just a little bit of color and tap this and blend it into just the outer V and outer crease. Alright, I lied. This one is a beautiful color, but it looks a lot deeper in the pan than it actually goes on your lids. So I'm going to go ahead and use this last matte color down here called Missy, and I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did with that first shade on the outer corner and the outer V. So for the inner portion of the lid, what I want to do is try one of these shimmery shades. I just haven't really decided which one. I think I'm going to go with the second one on the top row. This is called Dainty, and I'm going to try it with my finger first and just see how I like it. So I'm going to just rub my finger in it and tap the, oh, that's pretty. Oh. Anyway, before I so rudely interrupted myself, I'm just patting this on the inner half of the lid, and then I took the brush that I used for the dark color just to blend out the edges a little bit. Oh, this is so beautiful. Now I'm going to quickly repeat the entire process on my lower lash line, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I also went and did my mascara and my liner off camera because, let's admit it, sometimes they are a struggle, and it's easier to do them off camera where I can be like this close in my face with a mirror instead of this. I just have to be really close to a mirror to do that. Okay, so really quickly, let's go into the face palette. This is called Her. I don't know about this highlight, guys. This is way too gold for Amy's. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and try out the bronzer first. The bronzer is called Dame. It does look like a fairly neutral kind of bronzer, so hopefully it's not like super orange. It's a little dark for me, but it blends really nice, so that's a plus. I feel like this would be better on slightly darker skin tones, but if you like a very deep bronze, I mean, this is for you. It is very pigmented and it is quite a deep color, so if you're pale like me, a little bit darker or even lighter, unless you want something like really strong, I'm not sure that this bronzer is for you. But let's go ahead and go into the blush shade because I'm really excited about this. It's called Mistress, and it is a beautiful like rose pink. Such a nice color. Now, I'm kind of scared I took too much again. Oh Lord. Dang, these are all, whoa, really pigmented. I gotta do some blending. Okay, Mistress is a beautiful color, but as you can tell, I kind of have like clown cheeks going on, and this is even after buffing some of it away with this brush here. This big fluffy brush, it's still like ultra crazy. Moment of truth, guys. I'm actually going to try this highlight. This is Lassie. This is way too dark, too gold for me, but so you guys can kind of see it, I'm going to use it anyway. Oh Lord. Yeah, if you take a light hand, it's not too crazy. I actually kind of like this. I mean, this is definitely not a color that I would wear all the time, but it's not bad. It's just, it's a little strong. Too gold for my skin tone, but for this look, I'll allow it. Alright, we are on the final stretch, and I don't actually know what these colors are. Let's try an Ultra Satin though, because I've been disappointed before and I kind of just want it to redeem itself. Okay, this is the Ultra Satin Lip in Mrs. This is a really nice kind of nude pink that goes with the eye makeup. It didn't come with a liner or anything, so I'm just going to put it on. Just going to put it on. Oh, this isn't bad. Alright, so far I am not minding this Ultra Satin lip. I'm guessing they changed the formula slightly from when I first tried it, when they first came out, and these are so much better. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial and, you know, kind of a review of these new Colourpop products. I didn't really know what to think because I've never tried any of their pressed products, but I'm really impressed with how little fallout the eyeshadows had. You know, I did my makeup first today, like my base makeup, just to see if there would be a whole lot of fallout because I would be able to tell right away, and there was literally almost none, and that is like a huge plus. Now the downside is there's only 4 matte shades in the eyeshadow palette, and none of them are good base shades and, you know, really light colored transition shades. So I did have to start with a shade that was a little darker than I would normally like, but I really like the way my eyes turned out. I think, you know, they blended great. They're super pigmented. A little goes a long way, but I do feel like maybe I could have done with a lighter base shade, but what can you do? The face palette, I think, would be a lot better for people who can either do a lighter hand than I did, and I really tried to take as little product as possible, or for people just with like a slightly darker skin tone than me. You know, I understand that I'm kind of an anomaly in some of these cases because I am so pale, but the bronzer especially was like hella dark and I barely tapped into it. The highlighter is really pretty, the blush is really pretty, the blush is also super pigmented. And you know, gold highlighters for me, they're just not really my thing. You know, I don't have warm undertones in my skin, so I think gold sometimes looks kind of ridiculous. But with a light hand, I actually really like the way this one turned out. Now the set did come with 2 Ultra Satin lips. One was Mrs., which is the one I'm wearing now, and one is Darling. I do feel like these end up going on darker than they look in the tube, which is why I didn't use Darling. I wasn't ready for that with this whole look, you know. And I felt like Mrs. went on a little bit darker than what it shows in the tube. But I actually really am not minding these formulas, which is really impressive. I do not like my lips feeling super dried out. You know, and no amount of anything I put on top of it will ever make them feel better. But these feel like this already kind of dried down and it feels really good. It doesn't feel drying. It feels, my lips still feel like lips. They don't feel chunky or crumbly, you know, like some matte lips can do, but they're pretty nice. They might have sold me again on these Ultra Satin lips. Thank you guys so much for joining me today on this little kind of new Colourpop journey. Overall, I really liked everything. I might, you know, if you're pale, I might skip on the face palette, but the lips and the eyes, I'm sold. If you guys like these videos, like always, be sure to give them a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe before you leave. I hope you guys are having an awesome week and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!